In this video, we want to set out a very brief introduction to the entrepreneur. Just look at some of the basic issues and the basic attributes and functions of the entrepreneur. So a very simple and quite short class. So a brief introduction to the entrepreneur. Well, the entrepreneur is a person who is alert to profit opportunities. That's our definition of the entrepreneur. It's someone who is alert to profit opportunities. It's someone who can see profit opportunities, perhaps where other people can't see them. Entrepreneurs can see niches in the market, gaps in the market, gaps that they can fill. And perhaps the vast majority of the population can't see those gaps. But the entrepreneur can. They have that, in a sense, special quality. They have that perception that they are able to see a gap, understand how to fill it, and how to make a profit out of so doing, and also satisfying a demand that was hitherto not even considered to be there. So entrepreneurs are, in a sense, quite special people. These are the agents of change. These are the people who move our society along from one time period to the next. These are the people who give us new products, new services, new ways of living. So our definition, which comes from a writer called Israel Kirzner, our definition of the entrepreneur is a person alert to profit opportunities. Now the rewards for risk taking are as follows, because entrepreneurs do take risks. They take risks because no one knows the future with absolute certainty. The future is, again, as another famous economist called Hayek once said, the future is unknowable. We can't tell the future. Too many variables exist in the environment. Too many things can change. So we can't tell the future. So the rewards for risk taking need to be taken into account when we look at entrepreneurship. Because the entrepreneur is, in a sense, planning for the future. But the entrepreneur, like the rest of us, doesn't know what the future will be like. It doesn't know what government policy will be like, or what consumer tastes will be like, or what's going on in the country. What's the environment? So there are risks involved in entrepreneurship, and the rewards for taking these risks are as follows. The entrepreneur has authority over the business. This means that the entrepreneur enjoys a greater degree of freedom as compared with, say, a salaried employee. The entrepreneurs are the bosses. They are the ones who have the greater freedom, the freedom of being able to develop the product, develop the business as they see fit. So that is a reward for risk taking. It's something that the entrepreneur can enjoy because it's something that they have under their control. They know what needs to be done, they know how to do it, they have a plan, but they themselves have developed a plan, so they're able to factor in their own commitments. Salaried personnel must follow the rules as laid down by the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur receives a profit, and this is the reward for risk taking. In economics, we say that there are 4 factors of production. The 4 factors of production are land, labour, capital, and entrepreneurship. And the returns, the rewards to the 4 factors are, for land, it's rent. Land receives a rent. That's the reward for using land in production, the rent. Labour is the next factor of production. Labour, the reward is salaries and remuneration. It's what labour is paid. Capital is the next factor of production. And capital, the return to capital is the rate of return. The rate of return on the capital. And the last one, entrepreneurship. The return to entrepreneurship is profit. Often people think that profit is the reward for capital. It's not. It's Profit is the residual after everything else has been paid. It's the return to the entrepreneur. So entrepreneurs are paid in profit. Now, the role of profits in the economy are as follows. Profits are very important because they encourage business startups. People start businesses to get a reward. By and large, we do get some people who want to start a business because they're interested, because they've nothing else to do, because they just like the challenge of doing it. But the vast majority seems to be, it seems to be the case that they start businesses to get a profit, to have a better standard of living. So profits are the incentive for business startups. Profits also encourage innovation. When entrepreneurs have businesses, they try to innovate, they try to change production methods and change the way they do things, change the product, change the marketing strategy, change the design. And what they're trying to do is to, in so doing, get bigger rewards for themselves, better profits. But of course, by innovating, they are also helping the consumer to get a better product, a more fashionable product, a better made product. And it's innovation which changes the society in which we live, gives us a wider range of products, better quality, more interesting products. So profits encourage innovation. They also encourage, of course, efficiency. Efficiency and profitability are linked. If the company is very efficient, they will be, generally speaking, very profitable. If they're inefficient, they will be less profitable. So profitability drives efficiency, which is what we need within our economy. We need companies that are efficient, not companies that are inefficient. And efficiency is driven by profitability. The managers, the entrepreneurs, and all associated with the business have an interest in trying to bring about greater efficiency, because the business will be more secure, more sustainable, it'll fight off the competitors, it will gain international markets, it will gain a good reputation with the customers. So profitability is very important, and that's a return to entrepreneurship, and the profitability is linked to efficiency. Profitability encourages business expansion and business change. Clearly it's the case that businesses want to expand. I say it clearly because historically that's what's happened. Companies have started small and have gotten bigger. Not all, but generally speaking. So they can only expand if they can afford to expand. And they can only afford to expand if they've generated the profits to finance the expansion. Also, when they're engaging in research and development and innovation, they need to finance that. So the business change is driven by profitability as well. So profits are important to further business expansion and to change the way production takes place, change the product design, change the quality of the product, and so on. So profitability is linked to business expansion and business change. Profits are a source of internal finance for further investment. When a company does wish to expand, it may need investment funds. Well, one way of getting it is to go to the banks or go to financiers, go to the markets to try and borrow the money. But borrowed money has to be repaid, and there is a risk involved in that. If the expansion proves not to be as profitable as anticipated, the company could get into financial problems. It now owes, let's say, the banks for money is borrowed for investment, and it needs to repay that. Whereas if it has profitability over a sustained period and it reserves some of that. It keeps some aside for investment purposes. It may be able to finance its own investment out of internal funds, internal finance. So accumulated profits over a period of time can become, if you like, the pot from which investment funds are drawn. And that means that profitability is the internal source of finance for investment. It acts as a measure of business efficiency. It just doesn't encourage it. Number 3 said it encourages efficiency. This acts as a measure for business efficiency. We're able to get some very crude, I admit, comparisons between companies based on profitability. We're able to look at profitability against, let's say, the capital employed in the business. And we're able to work out ratios. That's the subject matter of a separate video, accountancy ratios. But we're able to work out ratios to compare the efficiency of one organization with another. We're able to take its profitability as reported in its accounts, take the amount of capital it's using to generate that profits, and work out the ratio. And we can do this for various companies, so we can see which company is performing the best. So profits play a very important role in the economy. Now, the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. Well, amongst these are the following. Entrepreneurs have a good set of negotiating skills. Entrepreneurs are able to negotiate. They know what they can give up in the negotiations, and they know what they need to maintain. So they are good negotiators. They're able to strike deals, whereas other people perhaps may flounder and not understand exactly what's required, or give away too much in the negotiations, or not be comprehensive in looking at all of the terms and conditions. Entrepreneurs are good at this. They're able to negotiate very clear deals. They tend to be very hard working and ambitious people. Generally speaking, entrepreneurs can put in long hours because they're working for the business. They're worried about the business, they're setting up the business, they're interested in the business. They're driven by ambition because they want profitability, and they want also reputation. They want to be known as the person who set up this very successful business. But they're very hardworking, generally speaking. They're very independently minded. They're constantly making decisions and perhaps going against recommended ideas, and they're swimming against the current a lot of the time. They're independently minded. They want to make their own decisions. They will take advice, they will look at all of the pros and cons, but then they will decide. So they are ultimately the ones who make the decisions within the business. So that's all we're going to deal with in this video. It's a short video just looking at the importance of profits within society and within the business community especially, and also looking at some of the characteristics of entrepreneurship. This is a very introductory video. There are many more videos on the topic to be viewed, so please look out for those. But that's all we're going to deal with here, so we're going to leave it at that and say thank you for watching.